I'm back. It's JR, and you are listening to Three Things with JR. It is Monday, December 16th. As I record this, I'll be dropping this episode later tonight for your listening pleasure, starting Tuesday, December 17th. And this is my first night post Wizard of Oz. We have finished our run of 16 shows after 3 months of rehearsals and a lot of work. And man, is it weird to go from doing basically nothing else with my free time other than The Wizard of Oz to having every evening and weekend free. I'm sure I will fill the time with something like I'm doing right now, but it's still weird because the show is still on the brain. And I miss it. I miss the people that I worked with for so long. The new friendships are going to help, but man, a shared experience like no other, and it was just fantastic. So I'm sorry to see it end, but at the same time, it was time for it to end. I came home today from work after stopping at the grocery store, and I cooked dinner for Kiki and me. That's something I haven't had time to do in months. Later on this evening, I'm going to have a little chat with my mom and my sister at a reasonable hour instead of calling them at midnight. They're up that late. I'm up that late. It's not weird for us to talk that late at night. It just really eats into my sleep, and I'm getting to the point where I like going to bed a little earlier. I don't always do it because I also like staying up late. So this is one of my problems, but I might get to bed before midnight tonight. It's not likely, but it could happen. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I could do an entire show talking about nothing but The Wizard of Oz, but that does not seem wise. I have a feeling you might tune out. So let's get into the things.
Thing number one.
Facebook. It's a thing. It's still a thing. It's a humongous thing. I recently, Kiki's parents were here visiting this weekend, and I was helping Pam with her phone and trying to figure out why her battery dies quicker than she would like it to. And we got to looking at the battery usage chart in the settings on her iPhone and seeing what she uses her battery for the most. And then I got curious to go see what do I do with my phone that uses the majority of my battery. And by far, the biggest percentage, 26% of my battery is used by scrolling through Facebook. That's a lot. That's probably more than it should be. I think I might spend too much time on Facebook. And then it got me thinking about some of my recent posts on Facebook. And it, in case you're wondering if Facebook fosters hate and division and derisiveness and disagreement, in case you think it stokes the fire rather than attempts to put it out, in case you think that it brings people together, I don't think it does. I believe it fosters hate because hate sells. And here's my very unscientific test that absolutely proves what I just said beyond the shadow of a doubt. I posted just a couple days ago, I shared somebody else's post, who they had shared it from somebody else, but it was a post about clearly a left-leaning post pointing out that all of the people that are fervently behind President-elect Trump, who voted for him, who advocate for him, who wear the hats, these people have been hoodwinked and they have bought into the lies and the rhetoric and now all the shit that's going to happen that is not in their best interest or anybody else's, really, unless you happen to be rich, the responsibility of that is going to fall on them for getting hoodwinked. And it ends with some pretty strong language, calling them fuckwits, for example. So I get it. It's not normally what I would post. I've been very willing to post anti-Trump stuff, left-leaning stuff, things that resonate with me personally, but none of it has been hateful. And there is a little bit of hate in this post. And I would be willing to admit that I posted it somewhat impulsively. It's, in retrospect, it might be one of those posts I should have read, smiled, chuckled, gotten sad, gotten mad, gotten over it, and scrolled on. But instead, I hit share. And then I added the comment that in case you want to know where I stand on this. And then there's the post. So I don't know if I would say I regret doing it, but probably wasn't my wisest Facebook move. But where am I going with this? So that post, I'm going to refer to it as the fuckwits post. That got more reactions than most of my posts on Facebook, and not just the left-leaning stuff. Here's an example. The fuckwits post got 15 positive reactions, 1 share, and 6 comments. And the comments were mixed. Some people pointed out that this is just stoking the fire even more, and that it's hateful, and that this rhetoric is why they won, and stuff like that. Seems like some people even lost respect for me from this post, which is a bummer. I didn't mean for that to happen, really, but I can't help but wonder if those people are amongst the hoodwinked. At least one of them doesn't appear to be, but it's mixed. Anyway, I feel like a lot more people than normal interacted with this post. For example, a few days before that, I had posted about a new episode of the podcast. This post did not include any links to external sites from Facebook. It talked about the last episode of this show, in which I talked at length about how to react to, respond to, and love the Trump voters in our lives. Specifically referring to my dad, but could be applied to anybody. That post got 2 thumbs up, and that's it. And that's it. No shares, no comments, nothing. Just 2 people gave it a thumbs up. And that's I would like to think that the main reason for that is because Facebook, I don't know if I would like to think this. I do think it. I don't know if I like it. But I think the reason for that is because Facebook knows that post isn't going to push anybody's buttons. It's only going to be a positive, bring people together sort of a thing. So I think it probably got squashed. There is an exception to this rule. My new rule, my opinion about Facebook, in that it promotes the posts that promote hate and division, and squashes the posts that brings people together. And of course, I'm not talking about what happens in groups or on pages where everybody in the group or the page will see what's in that group, right? Mostly. But I'm just talking about what's in your main normal feed from all of your friends and family and friends on Facebook. So here's the exception to that rule. I did have a post that was extremely positive that got more interaction than the fuckwits post. It got 6 comments, 7 shares, and 9 positive reactions. So overall, more people interacted with it, and it was nothing but positive. But the exception to the rule definitely applies when the content includes a 99-year-old dancing Dick Van Dyke with Chris whatever from Coldplay singing All My Love. That video, everybody shared that thing. That thing is awesome. And if you haven't seen that video yet, you need to go see it for sure. I had some other thoughts here on Facebook that also extends to Google and YouTube and, of course, Facebook's Instagram and all that. I believe Google, that owns YouTube, and Meta, Facebook, Instagram, I believe they lobbied pretty hard against TikTok. They must have greased a lot of palms to make TikTok go away. And it does appear that TikTok's days in the USA are numbered. Anything could happen. It's not definite, but it certainly seems like the ban is going to take effect, and it will be no longer allowed for TikTok to operate in the U.S. And a lot of the TikTokers that I enjoy are actively promoting their YouTube and or Instagram channels in case TikTok goes away. And I think if you follow the money, as those people, those influencers, those content creators, those very funny, usually, people that I follow on TikTok, they're going to where they can continue doing their thing, which is Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that that's what those people would do. Even though TikTok is their preferred medium, they're not just going to stop being content creators. They're going to move their stuff or spread their net a little wider and go to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So they certainly stand to benefit the most from this TikTok ban. I don't believe that it is a national security threat. I believe that the government is taking money from the competition. I believe that many politicians are afraid of the power of TikTok because it can and has caused movements and things to happen in the past. So, I think that's why they want it to go. So, anyway, that's my thoughts. I probably need to scroll through Facebook a little less and spend more time doing other more productive things. There you go. That's thing one. Thing number two. All right, we're going to talk Yellowstone just for a little bit. Yellowstone, as of this recording, I'm 24 hours out from watching the season finale, but it also might have been the series finale. And I am going to talk about the things that happened in this season series finale. So this is your spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear that stuff, skip ahead a few minutes. We started watching Yellowstone during season 1. Kiki and I watched every episode pretty much the night they came out. This was one of the few shows that we both considered appointment viewing. We didn't miss an episode, and it was every Sunday night when a new episode was out. We were both very excited. And I got to say, from early on, I had mixed reactions to Yellowstone. I thought the show was very predictable, but also very appealing. Visually, it was stunning. I always assumed it's beautiful out west, but damn if they didn't make it look like the most beautiful place on earth. The characters were compelling, even though it was obvious what was going to happen. They were still fun. The farmhands, Kevin Costner as the patriarch, Rip and Beth and Jamie and all of them. They were fun characters to get to know, even though it was predictable. And when I say predictable, I mean right up to the end. When Jamie's co-conspirator girlfriend got taken out, I knew that was coming. When Beth killed Jamie, I knew that was coming. When the Native American tribe ended up with the Yellowstone, that was obvious from season 1. This is normally a major turnoff for me. I'm not a person that usually sees the twists coming in a show or a movie, mainly because when I can see the twists coming, I stop watching that stuff. This is why I can't stand most network TV drama shows. Too predictable, too obvious. Everything's wrapped up in an hour, and it's just uninteresting to me. Breaking Bad is still the gold standard for not doing that. Sons of Anarchy had me completely floored at many different twists and turns in that show. Game of Thrones, mostly. Dexter, at least until it jumped the shark. And there's plenty of other TV shows that, were unpredictable. And that's what I like to watch. The TV shows I watch have to be good enough, and predictable is not good enough. Yellowstone was predictable. TV shows have got to be like that good for me to stay engaged, or they have to have something else. And for me, Yellowstone has that something else. It's hard to define exactly what it is, but it's there. And we are eagerly waiting for more Yellowstone prequel seasons. We watched 1923 or 1883 and 1923. There's a whole new season of 1923 coming out with Harrison Ford and the younger Dutton guy coming back from Africa who's going to save the ranch or whatever. It looks fantastic. And Taylor Sheridan, the guy making these TV shows, it's clear why he's the guy making all the successful TV shows these days. He's a fun dude. He makes a big appearance in this last season that culminated yesterday. And he's a fun guy to watch on screen, to listen to him talk, and he clearly makes great TV. His new show, Landman, is excellent and sort of has nothing to do with Yellowstone, but it sort of picks up where Yellowstone leaves off now that Yellowstone seems kind of over. If you watch this finale from yesterday, they kept calling it a season finale, but how do you make another season of a show after that finale? It felt like a series finale, and bravo if it is, because if they continue on the Yellowstone story from that episode forward, I think it's a mistake. They wrapped it up all too nice. And a really satisfying season finale, despite knowing what was going to happen. I'm okay with that. That's it.
Thing number 3.
When I did Kinky Boots at Shannon Arts, I got to be the guy that came out before the show and told the audience to turn off their cell phones. No videos, no texting, no photos, whatever. When we did a Christmas fundraiser concert at Shannon Arts, I recorded an announcement that was played before the show that reminded the audience that photos and video recording not permitted. And in The Wizard of Oz, once again, I was the guy that read that part of the pre-show announcement. No calls, no texting, no photos or video recording. I'm really good at these announcements by now. And this is a very ironic thing. Thank you so much for listening to Three Things with JR. Please check out my other podcast, Small Things Considered, posts on alternate weeks from Three Things with JR. Also, Crutchfield the podcast, currently wrapping up our 4th season this Friday, where we talk about how to make your TV sound awesome with headphones. It's the 4th of a 4-episode arc where we talk about all of the different ways you can make TV sound amazing. A bunch of great shows there. We have been renewed for a season 5, so I will continue to get paid to make a podcast, and it's that one. Bill Crutchfield pays me to talk about the coolest stuff on the planet on that show. And because I have that show, I also have this show and my other show with Gary Hawthorne called Small Things Considered, which posts on alternate Tuesdays from this show. So check out Small Things Considered. Check out Crutchfield the podcast. If you're wondering about the theme song for Three Things with JR, it's a song called Brand New Day. It's by my band To Be Fair. Check it out on tobefair.com, TOBEFARE.com. Upcoming shows, new album release dates, and more. Really excited about a series of videos we are about to get started on now that I have some availability. Also, now, since The Wizard of Oz is over, I may even have some time to reinvigorate my YouTube channel, What Is It About You? I even just bought a new video camera and a microphone to make those videos and the new To Be Fair video series significantly better. See, I won't have any more free time than I had before. I'll just be doing different things, and I'll be in charge of these things. That's the difference. Thank you so much for listening. I'm JR. Peace out. Love you guys. See you next week.
It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day.
texting, photography, or video recording.